Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. So as I said, pretty soon I'll be creating a video showing you some charting techniques, things I've learned over the years, and this is one of them. When price is just pumping like crazy, this is a technique I use. Basically, I go down to the 5 minute, use a parallel channel. I'm going to show you how I set this up, how this played out. If you're just looking at on the daily or the 4 hour, you just see a parabolic candle just going straight up. I'm just going to show you how I found that, how that played out. Right off the bat, your current key critical support is 85,000. So if you're still in a long, have your stop below that point. We're also going to cover how the Dow played out. We did get a rejection, so we need to follow the indices and see how this plays out through the rest of the week. But I do want to cover these charts and a few things. As usual, guys, if you want to get leverage trading, Coincatch is a great option. It's no KYC. If you want to sign up, that link's pinned in the first comment description. This is a tutorial video I put up teaching you how to create your account, set up your account, transfer funds to your futures account, and how to use the trading platform, opening a long, a short, setting a stop loss, adjust your stop loss. Importantly, using market order versus limit and mark price. So this is very important information that's going to protect you while trading. So do watch this video if you get a chance. I'll link up to it now. So this video here, this was 5 days ago. It says urgent Bitcoin testing a critical resistance level now. Ironically, in this video, it was 6 minutes and 44 seconds in, I showed you that if you connect the wick, and we'll go to this chart, but if you connect our previous highs and you follow this wick, it gives you a point that we could get rejected. Now, obviously, depending on the point, depends on the price. We hit it sooner, so it was less than 94,000, but I did show you how to find that point. And this yellow macro trend line that I've been talking about, ironically, coincidentally, was right where these previous highs connected. So that told you either this was a point too short, or if we get above, that was a target above to hit. Now, there's no way to know we'd go that far, but that was where we got rejected. I'll link up this video now if you want to check it out. That is this chart here. As you can see, we hit it sooner, but you can see this was our previous high in, see, this is the 13th of April, 2021, right? When we were at 64,700. And then this was our high after that on November 4th, 2021. And you can see that very same resistance level became the point we got rejected, close to 90,000. So guys, it is important that you watch the video all the way through. I try to give you points to pay attention to. We don't know what's going to happen. All we can do is play the levels one level at a time. In this last video, I mentioned that they printed, Tether had printed 2 billion USDT. They did the same thing on Sunday, and since they did it again, it just made more sense that they were going to send the price up. That was the point of this video. I was telling you 85K was a critical resistance level, but because of that USDT that was printed, or minted, shall we say, that it seemed like we would have a lot more upside. And if you did watch further into that video, I'll put a link up to this video now if you want to check it out. I did mention while 85K there was a lot of liquidity, we did have liquidity up around 89,000 up to 90,000. I said if we do go higher, we still have a lot of liquidity around 89K. So the liquidity that we had at 89K and what I was talking about in the previous video, connecting these top wicks, did give you a point to pay attention to if we kept going up, if the price was parabolic, which it was. So now we got rejected at 89K. So now you pay attention to the levels below. Again, as we drop, typically what I do when price is dropping, I give you points too long. When price is pushing up, I try to give you points too short. So we're going to cover these charts, and again, I'm going to come back and give you key levels below. I do want to cover this chart really quick that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this one here, and I'll give you some more upside targets to pay attention to as well. So I made this post in Discord. Price was just pushing up like crazy. This was the target I mentioned, your next target above, because it was more likely we were going to go above 85K. But I created a chart on the 5 minutes. So what I do is, and I'll show you how I found this channel here. But when price is pushing up on the daily, again, you just see one candle just shooting straight up. But if you go to the smaller time frame, you can see that typically we're in a channel, and it'll just move up that channel. People will buy when you hit support, buy when you hit support, and you can see this dotted line in the center, and this is key to setting up this channel, and this is also key to how I create my charts, which you can learn if you watch my tutorial videos. And then I showed how it played out. We broke down from this channel, we pushed back in. The H1 chart actually nailed the top with this fib channel here. See this red fib channel at 89K? or 89.8K, and then we found support here. This one we're breaking down. But I want to show you how this played out. So I had this rewound back, and as you can see, when I created it, you can see that price was underneath this purple fib line, right? You can see we were getting this wick down, coming back down to the center part of this parallel channel. So you can see I have it rewound back to this point. I just want to play it and show you how it played out. So price just kept moving up this channel until eventually it broke down from the channel. And take note how price respects these fib channels. Actually, this is just a fib retracement. So I'm going to hit play. Here's my play button down here. So I'm going to hit play and just show you. You can see we came down, we pushed up, got rejected, we broke below, there's a little fake out below. The H1 chart did catch that. But notice we broke out of that channel, right? So the uptrend was over, then we went sideways, and now you can see we got stuck in these two channels right here. And we are at current price right now. So again, basically all I did was, and let me break this down for you. So I started out, now I have this extended, so let me go ahead and take off extend to right. So all I did was I started a channel, right? So let me just do a new fib channel. I'm sorry, this is a parallel channel. Let me do a new parallel channel, show you what I did. And remember, this was rewound back to here, and I think I can recreate this even rewound back. Let's see. Yep, I can. Okay, so basically the tool over here, if you go under where trend lines are and you go parallel channel, so basically what I did was I just connected these wicks, right? You connect these wicks right here, and I brought this all the way back. Let's see here, I brought this all the way back to here, trying to connect the top wicks, get it kind of close, all right? But notice what happens. So I'm not paying attention to the bottom of this channel, I'm paying attention to the dotted line. And you notice when I pull this down, you'll notice how the dotted line, price ends up respecting it, right? So you can see right here, and that's the purpose of these arrows, you can see that we found support here, right? You can see there was support here. There was, you can see, well, there was resistance right here, right? But you can see there was a lot of support through here. So this told me that this channel, price is respecting. Even though price dropped a bit below, you can see price is still respecting it. But the most important thing is creating your resistance level above and bringing down the parallel channel to where the center dotted line, price is respecting it. That way, when you play it out, and let me extend this, go extend out to the right, and now when I hit play, you can see how price respects that channel, right? So this is just a way that when price is going parabolic and pushing up, you can find out when it's possible that trend will change and you no longer are pushing up, but potentially could go sideways or down. Now we could push right back up to our resistance, which would be that channel. But this just is a technique that I use just going down to the smaller time frame to actually find out, when the parabolic move will stop. And as you can see, when we did drop, we dropped down to right down here around 86,700. Actually, we did that twice. You can see right here. We were actually able to catch that on the H1 chart. You see price drop down. Your current support right now is 86,751. Let me see here. So when we did drop down, we hit these levels, but just right off the bat, I just want to show you that your current strongest resistance above is around 89,922. We do have one fib channel just below that, which is around 89,168. Your current support, as I mentioned in Discord, is 86,817. This is on the hourly. Your next support level just below that is around 84,381. And your most critical support level below, as I mentioned, is around 82,026. Now, I would like to point out, if we do push up, now it's, again, we could drop from here. We could push back up. Guys, that's why I'm saying let's play one level at a time and see what happens. As I said, this was a level to watch. Resistance, if you push above it, that will flip as support. Well, we know that our current strongest support is 85,000. Okay, so if we break that support level, your next support level to pay attention to, remember, if you watched the previous video, I told you that a 0.2 scalp is short. Hold your long on these scalp shorts. If we break below 85K, your next support level, we know these lines have been respected. So on this daily candles, 82,000, right? Around 82,000 next daily candle. Your next critical support below that will be around, again, this is 3 days out, 79,783. But your most critical and most important support level right now is around 76,891. And the reason for this, as I mentioned here, is because if we drop back below this point, all right, so you can see that, and I'd mentioned this in a previous video, basically I just connected this point, I followed resistance level, and again, it was right at this area. So if we get back below this area, all right, we're breaking back into the channel we broke out of to send us up to 89K. So that's why 76,000, let's just say 77,000 to 78,000 is going to be very, very critical support. And more than likely, it will be this yellow macro trend line will be your support. So yes, we're watching to see if we break above 89,800, because if you connect these two top previous highs, well, that's why we got rejected at that point. So that is what we're watching to see if we get above that point. Now, as far as a point to short, if we get above that, that is where certain charts come into play. So if we go to, again, this chart, now this will give us your next level above. This is a pretty good ways up. This is around 95,174. This is a fib channel line. It will be respected. I think this right here is just, this is the trend line price respected previously. We know that this is an important number right here, so if you push up, this is a target to watch. But I want to show you this chart. Now, I mentioned this in the previous video. So what I try to do is I try to map out the direction of price the best I can. And again, starting out with parallel channels and trend lines is the best way to do this. In the next video I put out, I will cover fib channels and fib circles. But if you'll notice this red line right here, all right, this red line is basically just outlining a fib channel, all right? But if you go back and you look, you will see that price has been respecting this line very well. You can see right here, we had perfect support, a lot of support and resistance. You had nice support here, nice resistance, perfect rejection here. And if we move forward, you can see right over here, was a lot of support all through here, right? Became resistance. We did get a little bit above, but you can see it was still holding this nice resistance here. Well, that tells us that if price pushes up even above, which again, if we do get above 89K, that will be super bullish. We'll be breaking above a very key resistance level. And remember, I mentioned that, back in this video here. So again, if you need to watch the video all the way through, guys, I try to give you every possible scenario so you can use it to your advantage. But if we do push up, just going by how price has been respecting these fib channels, all right, in the direction that price is moving, I try my best to map the direction. It's not always horizontal support. A lot of people play horizontal support. They'll do something like this. Your previous high, you can see that actually this did come into play here. We got a rejection here, right? We got a rejection here. So horizontal lines do work. But if you follow the direction price is moving, it can help you find targets above where price has never been. So that would give you a target of, and this is right at around 95,177. And if you'll take note, 95,177, and then we go back to the H1 chart, if I can find it here. I'm sorry, where are we at? 95,174. So that shows you if we break above, again, if we break above 89,900, right, breaking above a key resistance, which would be very, very bullish, your next point to long to or potentially scalp a short would be 95,174, and you can see the confluence between the H1 chart and this next fib channel line above that price has been respecting. So again, I have multiple charts. I try to use all these charts together to help us find likely points to long and short. But right now, you can see we are holding above 85,000. These are your most critical levels or below. But remember what I said. I was super bullish above this point. We got the daily open above this macro yellow trend line. It goes back since the beginning of Bitcoin. Watch previous videos. I covered this in detail. If we drop back below 76,800, 77,000, and that becomes resistance, then this could start turning pretty bearish. Your next key support level, again, I've covered this You know, I've been talking about these lines for quite a while. Your next major level below 76,000, which I'm still bullish, is around 60, let's say 69,800, depending when you make contact. But your most critical resistance, if we got a massive drop to open along, would be around 76,900. I'm not saying we have to drop to that point, guys. That's what I'm saying. Let's just play it one level at a time. I am curious if we go up this next fib channel line on the D1 chart around 94,000. Well, depending when we make contact, that's 95,185. So that's actually three charts in confluence. The D1 chart shows 95,185. The H1 chart shows 95,174. And we have the O1 chart, which shows 95,177. So we know if we push up, and you can clearly see how well price has been respecting these previous fib channel lines, we know that is a point to scalp a short. So if we hit that target, I would open a heavy scalp. So when I say that, I mean hold your long, but you could enter a short while keeping your long open with, you know, if you wanted to be crazy, do 100x with 3K. It drops back down to support, take profit on your short, and continue to ride your long. Again, this is how I find targets above where price has never been before. Just want to show you how I do that. I do want to cover the Dow Jones as well. I did mention this in previous videos. I know I said pay attention to see if we continue up. I mentioned two charts. I mentioned this blue ring. I said see if this was just a fake out above this point. This is a very important fib circle here. I talked about this is the same fib circle. This is just one ring down. But this is that next ring up. Notice we got rejected. We're now below it. You need to follow the indices. If the indices start coming down, and again, we'll have to see how far they come down. But it does seem like we got a little fake out and we're starting to come down. You can see Bitcoin is also starting to retrace as well. I can tell you that your next support level below to pay attention to will be our previous high right here. And again, it is important to follow not just the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ as well. But again, markets typically move together, the indices move together. So pay attention to see, this would be our next key support level for the Dow. So we could come down and test 43,287. And I have to say, if markets continue down, then we are going to break some support levels with Bitcoin. And I would also like to point out, as I mentioned in that previous video, that we do have a gap down here. And this is right around 42,208, and that's a pretty substantial drop. You know, some people don't want to believe this, but Bitcoin does follow the markets. The indices have put in new all-time highs, and Bitcoin just put a new all-time high. So do pay attention to the indices. I just want to point out that we did get rejected and we're coming down. So again, as I always tell everybody in Discord, just play it one level at a time, guys. So look, if we break 85,000, all right, then you would short that down to 82,000. If that breaks, your next one is 79,783. But your most critical support is 76,894. And also take note, the central Bollinger Band is moving up to that point. So if the central Bollinger Band is at this point at that time, that is a great entry for a long. However, if this becomes resistance, then we're more than likely headed down to test 69K. And if that happens, well, we'll make a new video and cover targets from that point on. But I will be making that new video with charting techniques. I think you guys will really enjoy that. If you do want to get leverage trading again, guys, Coincatch, great option, no KYC. That link, if you want to sign up, is pinned in the first comment description. And do watch this tutorial. I go into detail about all of the tools to help protect yourself, to make sure you're in profit and you're mitigating your losses. That is the most important thing about trading. And guys, if you do want to sign up, get access to these charts. If you do want to sign up, again, it's $49 a month, get access to Bitcoin charts, altcoin charts, precious metals, and Discord. If you do sign up, make sure you email me through the contact page on the website, and then I'll send you a Discord invite link. Also, I have tutorials teaching my charting method, but do look forward to that video soon where I'll be showing you some of my charting techniques. Guys, that's it. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.